Good morning, all. It's Gord, your hurtin' hippie on Hump Day, Wednesday, August. How are you? Today it's brought to you by Tinkerbell. Thank you, Tinkerbell. I appreciate all your comments, and she and I had a good back and forth about, and she suggested it. Hashtag news is bad for you. Hashtag news is bad for you. If we could start a movement where people just sign off, just sign out. I'm not over the hump. I'm still looking for a fix. Still looking for a news fix. Yesterday, even this morning, looking and, oh, there's my Fox News. Ooh, hang on. And please, before I get a plethora of comments, my issues, our issues, people's issues with news goes much further than whether CNN or Fox is correct. Sure, I can sit here and talk about the leaning of the media, but we have to notice one thing. CNN and Fox are the leaders of news. Fox is the leader. Fox is the only conservative leaning mainstream media. CNN is joined with many others, MSNBC, CBS, just a whole plethora. Every other news channel is leaning left. The fact that our news channels, you can very clearly state the way they lean, shows that they are not news channels. And that is the rub. Therein lays the rub, is we really first have to decide that news in the new form means mind control. And news is bad for you. News is bad for you. I really want to encourage a whole bunch of you to try what I'm trying. And it isn't easy. Yes, this morning I look again and I want to know what's going on in the world. But then I keep telling myself, you know what? Watching any of these channels, you are not learning what's going on in the world. You're learning either a right-leaning or a left-leaning view on what's going on in the world. And in most cases, it might even be made up. Or just, how much news is on Trump feels this way. You watch the briefings with Sarah, the White House press briefings, and there's more questions on his tweets and how he feels than there is on substance and the booming economy and all that. And I'm not patting him on the back, and I'm not pushing him away. I'm saying, hell with it. Let them run that. Let us run our lives. When I was growing up, news consisted of half-hour local news at 5 o'clock. Then there was a half-hour break from news. Then the 6 o'clock, 1 hour national news came on. And there would be the first 15 minutes spent on big news stories around the world. And then they'd circle in and just national news, just Canadian news, and then some feel-good stories near the end or an interview. And it was always presented from the center. And we then would spend the next half hour at home or during the commercials, commercials, remember them, talking, discussing, and forming our opinions, not adopting the opinion of somebody who went to broadcasting school, not political science. These broadcasters, many of them, have no place being where they are, and they are leading us down a garden path of destruction. They are slowly screwing with our minds and making us hooked on their news. I realized this, I really realized this a long time ago. 2001, 9/11 happened. I was hooked on CNN for probably 2 years. Every day, my TV was always on CNN. And I was just watching news. And then I started including Fox. And then I started realizing my stress level was so high and my anger level was getting higher that I was not helping myself, and I quit the news. I quit the news in 2003 or 4. And I went a lot of years without it. I think it was out of boredom, my family breaking up, my wife going, me switching from pharmaceuticals to cannabis. I needed an outlet, and I started watching news again. Again, it's not news, but they call it that. I don't even know that there are regular news shows on regular channels anymore, because I don't even subscribe to cable TV anymore. So if I don't turn on my TV, stop watching the news. I only watched it internet-wise, but it has been helping me. I have been able to face the day a little better. Yeah, every once in a while I get that need for, I wonder what's happening with Omarosa now. Is anybody even buying that stupid woman's book? Things like that. But those little things, I can look up myself and not watch, but just read a few things and then move on, satisfy my curiosity and move on. And I think that's what we need to do in today's world, is we need to start boycotting the news shows. And that is the hashtag newsisbadforyou. I agree with you, Tinkerbell. CNN and Fox are examples of both sides of the issue being obfuscated just for viewership. Think of this. Whole bunch of polls were done in the US. Do people care about supposed Russian collusion with Trump? And only out of what people want to read about, hear about, see about, blah, 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 that piece was 1% of the people said they want to know more about Russian collusion. The people wanted, overwhelmingly to know about the economy, to know about the different tax structures and how to make the most of your tax breaks and stuff like that. The news channels aren't doing that. 92% of the coverage is Russian collusion, totally against what we want. So we have to look at that and say, this isn't for me. It isn't for me, so stop watching it and waiting for them to actually talk about something you like, and meanwhile getting down in the dumps over everything else. This world is safer than it ever has been. It's more peaceful than it ever has been. There's less murders per capita than there ever has been. We need to start looking at the positive ends of this world, and until the media catches up and starts realizing people want positivity in their entertainment, not negativity, until we get there, until we get past this sensationalism, it's time to boycott. So hashtag news is bad for you, and hashtag love you, Tinkerbell. Peace and cheers. Love and harmony. Peace.